Sweet, it actually says excellent connection. I feel like that's a first time thing. Um, just gonna refresh the live control room as there is a little error message, but after that we should be getting started. Everything looks relatively good otherwise. Okay, welcome everyone to the weekly trade review. I don't know if I said that right. We go live every morning or every Monday morning at 8 a.m. at Eastern Standard Time. In this weekly trade review, we talk about everything that happened in the last week. We review most of the trades, if not all the trades. It really depends how many trades there are. And we also review some upcoming stuff for the next week and also some trends. There's a lot to cover. I try to keep it at 30 minutes, but it oftentimes goes to 45 minutes. So if you're watching this on playback, times 2 speed is usually a good way to go. I try to be as fast as possible, but if there's any sort of important topic, or sometimes I go on tangents, so I try to piece together as much helpful information for you guys throughout the whole video, hopefully you guys find value throughout the whole entire thing. If you are completely new here, my name is Alex Winkler, and I was an equities trader, so I trade stocks in New York City for about 3 years, and then I did another roughly 3 years of trading on the road in Florida. Right now I'm in Berlin, so I have about 6 years trading experience, and as of the last 2 years, we started buying and selling crypto, or I should say we started paying out a lot of our clients in cryptocurrency. And after a while, I decided why not apply my equities trading strategies to the crypto market. And I did that and was able to consistently grow our crypto fund. So right now, what these videos are about, or these live streams are about, and everything that I post on this channel is to review all of the crypto trading. Everything is documented live in real time. And I share everything with you guys. So let's get started. It's going to be a pretty busy one. There were a lot of trades made last week, a lot of scratches, some swing trades closed and open. So there's just a bounty of information to talk about today. I'm not sure if I'm going to be reviewing all the trades just because there are so many. But yeah, let's just, I guess, get started. And that is probably the best way to cover everything. Just little baby steps. Let me quickly see if I'm missing anything. Whatever, it looks good. Let me move over to the trading screen right over here. Okay, so this is the weekly trade review number 43. That's huge. We are getting close to that 52 number, I guess you could say, mark. 1 year almost of weekly trade reviews. So that's really impressive. Or really exciting. I'm pretty stoked about that. It was weird, you're starting at one at a time, but eventually they add up. So here's a little summary of what we're going to talk about. I just kind of wrote lots of trades to review because that's really just what it is. So you guys let me know that the trade reviews are some of the most interesting parts because we really dive into why I entered and exit positions, and you could really see everything there. You could always check out each trade on your own time. So sometimes I skip through them relatively quickly, but some of the more important trades I like to talk about. One of the topics I want to talk about a lot as well is just understanding and learning the trend, because that's really what all these trades are based off. All the entries and exits are really where there's major support and resistance, and I oftentimes trade exactly the same way. I look for support lines. That's one of my most common entry points, and I sell near resistance lines. If I'm scalping, if I'm day trading, if I'm swing trading, it's all relatively similar, just on different time frames. If I'm using the daily, if I'm using the 4 hour and hourly for swing trades, or if I'm using that 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes for the day trading and scalping. So that's really what it's all about. And if you understand the trend, you will understand when to enter a trade and when to exit a trade. And you're going to learn a lot more about that when I review these trades, especially when it comes to scalping. These really, really short-term trades where I can make a clean 1%. And do that multiple times over the day, and every time make 1% with a $10,000 entry size. Make a quick $100, and that really adds up. So yeah, we'll review all these kind of points, I would say, individually, and just try to keep these points in mind, especially when it comes to the the trend and ideal exits. Also, what's an ideal exit, right? It's a lot of times when I enter a trade, I don't wait for the price to go where I am to get out or where I want it to be. The second I enter a trade, I already put an exit order in, a limit order where I would like to exit. Because a lot of the times that price will just spike up for a second and then drop back down, and there might be a reversal, and you could have got out for $100, $150, $200 profit, but all of a sudden the price is moving against you and you missed your exit. So you don't want that to happen, and that is what ideal exits are about. I am just getting over my cold a little bit. I feel a lot better. Last week, weekly trade review was kind of messy. Had a serious sniffle, so pretty happy about that. Okay. And the fourth thing we're going to be talking about, or the way we get started, is just checking out the trade journal. Sorry guys, where all the trades are documented. It gives us a nice little weekly overview. Then we're going to review all the trades. Then we're going to be reviewing some of the BTC altcoin charts. I'm probably not going to spend too much time on these because it's going to be a long video. And then we're going to finish up with a Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions, remember, always feel free to leave a question in the chat to the right, and I will answer it as I see it. If you have any questions the week before, you're not going to make this weekly trade review and you want to ask me a question, just shoot it out in an email or in the Discord private trading chat room, and I will make a note and I will be sure to talk about it on this weekly trade review if I can't answer it, or if you want me to answer it in the weekly trade review. Otherwise, I could just answer it on as it comes in. Okay. Let's get started. So here is a little overview chart of what happened. I'm actually going to dive into the Excel spreadsheet or the Google Sheets because it's going to be a little bigger for you guys to see. But overall, you can see the general trend is upwards. This was this week, so we had a nice little bounce to the upside, which is pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and move over now to the Excel spreadsheet, which I think is here. Yeah. So we started off this week with a little scratch, $50 loss, but then we were able to clean up a little bit the next day with a $100 profit. But then Tuesday was kind of a whack day. I had a $200 loss, $180, and this should have never happened. This trade actually could have been easily a $100, $150 profit. I got a little greedy and I removed my ideal exit, which would have got executed, and then I missed that entry point. Or that exit point, and then I eventually sold for a loss when the price went against me. So this trade really should have never happened. This could have easily been $100, $150 profit, and that really would have changed the week a little bit, because think about it, you lose $200 or you make $150. It sounds like a little bit, but once you lose that $200, that margin of difference, that spread now is quite large. So you could say your almost account balance is a difference of $350, right? 200 plus 150. So yeah, these losses are really just, you want to avoid them at all costs, and you want to get out quickly, and you want to take your profits, especially when the trend is weak. There might be an upwards trend, but it could be, in a larger bearish trend, right? So you want to kind of scalp a little bit and day trade if you're going to trade at all, so you could lock in those profits quickly, because the worst thing is when the price starts moving against you. Anyway, just in general, you can see that there was a lot of scratches this week. There was 2 trades on Thursday, $17 and $64 profit. So just a kind of a lot of scratches overall in the day trading front. Friday, I had a nice clean day trade. Finally, it was all a little shaky. This one was actually done on a train. And then Saturday, this is actually one of my biggest trades, but I closed it on the 12th, so on Monday. So it doesn't really count part of this week, but this is going to be a really nice trade. And I'll show you how I document this. Also, I opened 2 swing trades, or 3 swing trades, right? 0.5 is an entry, and there was 2 0.5s here, so that's 2 more entries, right? EOS and ADA swing trades opened, and I closed the EOS trade on Saturday. This was an ideal exit order that was triggered when I was not online, so this was a really cool cleanup. You could see here that the day trades overall weren't that big. I mean, small 170 profit for the week, but then the swing trade really came in strong this week, and it allowed me to end the week on a fairly strong note. You can also see last week the day trading was a little bit off. Week before that, day trading was a little bit off. Usually though, day trading is what carries me. So You never know. It's always, I mix all my day trading, swing trading, investing, and these are just my weekly averages on what kind of comes out in total. So I know this was a lot to review just for the Monday, but yeah, it was a busy week. So let me go ahead and show you guys how I prepare for next week. So all I do is I copy this, and then I move this over here. I remove all the trades, right? Bloop, bloop. These are all removed now, and then I go ahead and make this for Sunday. And then once I do that, I just go ahead and kind of move the numbers down. So, and I also have to remove these notes. If you want to learn more how Trade Journal works, you can do this on your own time at any time. There is a bunch of tutorial videos on Trade Journal, and we are coming out with a Trade Journal website. So you're going to actually be able to do all this on the cloud. We're working on that pretty intensely right now. I talked about it a little bit in the last week's trade review. Sweet. Let's go ahead and populate this a little bit. So let me do that now. So there's one trade that I closed out that I was just talking about, and that was this one right here. Day trade, May 12th is when I closed it. Although oftentimes I entered the trade ahead of time. So this should have said May 11th actually in when I entered the trade, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is take this one, take the profits here, which is also documented right here, right? It's all under the day trading thing. You can see it, day trading. This one closed on the 12th. This is the profit. So I could also copy the profits from here. And then if I go over to the weekly, again, I'll put 0.5 here, right? 0.5 because it's an exit, and then I'll enter the profit right here, and then I will go ahead and make a note. Here you can see it says LTC day trade opened. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of copy that and remove the opened with closed. This is just really for my personal accounting, just so I know how everything happened throughout the week. And for me, it's a really good way to see the progress, see what's really working. You know, are my day trades really making me all the money? Is my swing trading making me my money? Investing is a bit obviously way more long-term, and I average into a lot of my positions. So it's a bit, there's oftentimes no numbers for the investing, but swing trading and day trading is really interesting as well. And then to really kind of home that point home is if you go over to the chart, which you can check out as well on your side, you can kind of see this general trend right here. And the green is the total sum, right? And the red is the day trading sum, right? And the what do we have here? The yellow is the investing sum, and then the orange is the swing trading sum. So for a long time, the day trading kind of does a lot of these little peaks and valleys, and just is, I would say, a continuous trend. But same with swing trading, and they're kind of about the same, right? Right around now, it's actually, they're almost identical. And which one gave me the most profits? Almost exactly identical. How weird is that? So you can see day trading and swing trading for me are both equally as good. As I become probably a little bit more busy, I will do a bit more swing trading, but the market really has to be in the right place for that. So there is a few months I didn't do any swing trading because the market was just keep on going down, and I'm not going to obviously do a swing trade that's multiple days long if the market consistently makes lower highs and lower lows. But now as the market has turned around a little bit, I'm going to be doing a lot more swing trading, and I am super excited about that. But yeah, on average, day trading is typically what I always do. You could do it in both directions, so it's just a beautiful thing. Let me move this over here. Let me see if there are any questions yet so far. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually get started with all this. I know there's just so much to review, and let's dive into the good stuff, the trades. We have talked about the Trade Journal overview, so now we're going to dive into the biggest top trades and biggest lessons. Really, biggest lessons are just really biggest losers, biggest losses, and that's why it's a really important lesson, because there is nothing that teaches you better than a loss. I'm going to go ahead and just open maybe 3 of these, and then we'll just make our way down the list. So if you remember, this is the first trade I talked about on Sunday, I believe it was. Yeah, Sunday, that small $50 loss scratch. And this trade was a falling wedge long, and it was actually it could have been a really, really good trade. However, I butchered the entire setup on this, and it was a bit my fault. So here I was looking for, I already had this falling wedge mapped out, and this is the 5-minute chart, and I was looking for a entry right around here on a breakout bounce, any sort of breakout, right? And I completely missed this. So I was looking for a re-entry for a second ride up, because a lot of falling wedges, right, they take a bit of profits here and then they continue moving up. And my ideal setup here was buy on any sort of dip and then sell at a former resistance area. So right around here, I might have took profits around this line or waited for a further breakout, but then the price moved against me and ended up getting out eventually. This trade, like a lot of these little scalps, are a little stressful because there's a lot of chop in these kind of plays, and I don't oftentimes do them, but I really like this setup, but then I completely butchered it. You can see here that I exited right before I did. I wanted to get out where I wanted to get out ideally. So this trade could have been, easy $100, $150 profit, but I just simply got out right before it. I had to survive through this whole entire dip right here. This was a really weird falling wedge, and generally it's not exactly the structure you would want. So not the best trade, but a nice little way to get the week started. No big loss or anything like that, so that's important. The next trade was a support line bounce, I believe. Yeah, and this trade was done overnight. I actually had a limit order waiting for this trade, and a lot of times when we retest limit orders, support lines, we oftentimes dip below the support line for the first bounce. The second bounce will actually touch the support line almost perfectly. You can kind of see this here, right? Here is the support line or the resistance line we originally broke out from. And then we came back here and tested this support line, but the first one was a bit bigger of a dip, just like this one. And the second one, where this entry was more or less perfectly on it. So it's weird how that happens. I see it happen over and over again. So keep that in mind. Don't try to get an early entry on these support lines. And if you want to be even more conservative, wait for a confirmation. Wait for this support line to hold. This was a bit aggressive of an entry. What would have been better of an entry in general is buying as this comes up and you make that first green candle, because there is a big indicator that we had a support. Otherwise, sometimes these red candles could just keep going down. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I took my profits fairly quickly. You could see only a 1.38%. Also, the position size was a bit smaller than average, but I still came away with that $109 profit. And a very quick way to make money. I was making my morning coffee, saw that I had a nice entry, decided to get out. There's really nothing fancy about this trade. Again, look at the price here. It's $72, and you'll probably remember that this week we ran up to $84. So a lot of these trades, I should have probably been looking at a bit more of a long-term perspective, but that's why I also had swing trades out, and we're going to be reviewing those swing trades later. But I like to do a little bit of both, right? If I think there's a lot of potential for upside, I'll start building these swing trades. And if but at the same time, I like to always have a nice decent chunk of cash where I can constantly day trade. So all week, I want to make around $500, so 1% per day. With day trading, and then the swing trading hopefully will add that extra percentage, maybe another % per day on average. Okay, so this trade, I just had to quickly think about which one this was. This was the big loss that I had for the week, $188 loss. Which in essence isn't that big, 1.45%. This is as big as I like to have my losses go. Usually around 1.5% is when I am closing out my limit orders pretty aggressively. Actually, my background, my screensaver, is my risk management strategy in a nutshell. Get out when the trade is not going your way. This is anytime your trading thesis is no longer valid. And then usually get out of trade when it's past 1.5 via limit order, just as a safety measure. If your thesis hasn't worked, but you're still kind of hoping, this is usually the point where I'll get out at all costs. And then I always have a forced market stop loss at 3%. And that's what happened to me last week. I had 2-3% losses back to back, and it was a pretty heavy way to start off the week because I started off the week like down almost $600, so that was not fun. But with very safe day trading and swing trading, I was able to bring that up, and we had a small profit last week of I think $200. So this trade was we had a nice ascending channel, and ascending channels always, or not always, but typically break down to the downside. And as you can see here, I had an entry near this support line, right? And my exit, I was trying to play this relatively safe. And the exit order I had in place was right around here, and I got a little greedy and I was hoping for a bit higher, and my exit was right around here, and we just missed it. I should have never been playing with fire like this, because I know if this doesn't break out, we can crash hard. So this was a huge mistake on my end, and I just played this one very poorly. I should have just got out any time into this chop, right? We were getting very weak. The support line wasn't holding. I really don't know why I didn't get out in this trade, but in general, it was very messy. Here you can actually see the last trade, and this last trade, this would have been a great second entry when we had this support that held. This would have been a phenomenal entry, and maybe a sell right here, another entry here, sell right here, entry here, sell right here. I don't know why I didn't do a lot of these. I forgot what day this was, but usually I'll be very busy, so I don't have a lot of times for day trading. But you can see if you have time to dedicate all day to day trading, you can just constantly make these returns, especially when you have a clean pattern like this. There's days where there's just pure chop, there's no volume, and you can't really trade those days. You want to really avoid the market at all costs. But when you have something like this where you're seeing a very clean pattern, there's no reason that you can't just day trade all day and have a phenomenal day. So just keep that in mind. Know what the market's doing, know what the trend is, and capitalize on it. So let's review some of the swing trades I opened, and EOS is the only one I completely closed. ADA I partially closed, and this partial close could have been perfect. We'll review that in a second on the actual exchange as well. So DNT, this trade's not really doing too much of anything right now for me. I was actually down a bit. The swing trades, I don't typically get out when I go below 3%. Usually if they go below 10% or more is when I'm really thinking about cutting the losses. But typically I hold a bit longer because this is not day trading for me. Swing trade for me is a bit more relaxed. I just simply buy near general support, and I like to hold and I also buy projects that I generally really enjoy. So you can see here, I was really thinking about potentially getting out here if we broke down this level, because we're down almost 20% from our entry. But this is when I will usually get out. So of a swing trade like this. So imagine this support did not hold. We probably would have crashed down to here, and then we would have had a retest, right around here. And I would have got out on this retest. That's when I would have cut the losses on this swing trade. But we had this support again. We had this support again. If we don't break above this level anytime soon, this moving average, I'll probably go ahead and cut these losses. Again, this is a very small position. This is only about a position of, I think, 1.5 thousand. So very small position. So even a bigger loss won't be that bad. So I'm really waiting for some really big breakouts to the upside, and I am completely fine with holding this for several weeks, just to put in perspective. So yeah, the DNT trade is nothing too exciting. The swing trade, however, on EOS was way cooler, and this was a bigger position size. It was about $5,000. So let me go over here and show you guys how this one turned out. This was a very exciting trade for me. So you can see here, we had a general resistance level. We were coming down here, and eventually we broke out of that. I thought we were going to break out around here, so I tried to build a position. Should have played it way more conservative and put a maybe entry near this support right here, 4.7, 4.75, 4.8, somewhere around this would have been much nicer. I had to survive through all this dip again. 8% down we were on this position for a little bit, so that's not too cool. But then the reason I put the exit order right here is because this is where we had a lot of former resistance right around this point. I like to look at where the general, I would say, majority of the resistance was right around here. These are all kind of fake outs and spikes and stuff like that. So I placed a limit order kind of like below that. at the $5.75 level. So this trade was pretty cool, 16% profit, give or take. If we go over here to the swing trades, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. These are live right now, the DNT and the ADA here. EOS, I closed out 17% profit, so $995 profit. And you have to remember, this is also calculating the fees, the entry and exit fees, and just everything that is calculated for you. So this was a really, really cool trade. And we got out almost perfectly near the highs. Remember, if I was waiting to get out of this trade and on my phone or on my computer, and I was just waiting for the price to go around, let's say $5.75, I would have never got to exit. I don't remember exactly when this happened, but it was probably overnight, or it was on the weekend. I wasn't online at all. So it happened when I was not online, and that's the amazing part about swing trading, I find, is you could do almost all of it not online. That's why it's an amazing thing for anyone that has a full-time job that is just getting into trading, because it's a way more relaxed form of trading, and anyone can really do it with a very, very small amount of time, as long as you understand how support and resistance works. All right, moving right along. We're almost at the 30-minute mark, and we have a lot more to go. So this weekly trade review might go over 45 minutes, but I'm still trying to hurry up. So here is ADA Cardano, guys. This trade could have been beautiful, and we could have really topped out our earnings for this week. Here we go, another $600. Could have happened, but it was not a full execution. And let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. Position size, and this is a smaller position size too. This is only $3,000. So this is something a lot of you guys can really just do over and over again. I know my day trading is with $10,000, and it might seem like a higher number, but with swing trading, you also don't need the biggest position sizes, because you're getting much more percentage return. It's just a much slower game. So let's go to ADA. Yeah, so here is my last sell on ADA, and then I bought again at the support line, which I really, really liked. Unfortunately, like my last swing trades, we did go down a bit further, and I probably should have averaged down right around here. I loved the support. I loved this position. We had big support come in here. I was generally very bullish on this trade. And yeah, it really paid off well. Again, guys, this trade, we were probably down about 8% at one point. Yeah, 8.25%. So just getting close to when I'm thinking about exiting a swing trade. If we broke down really, really big and then we kind of bounced back up, I would have got out on that bounce just to do a little bit of risk management. But here you can see that our limit order was just at the top, and we almost had that perfect execution. And my limit order was actually one of the orders that turned the price around. How crazy is that? So if you go over here to Kraken, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. See these two red dots right up here? Those are sell orders. Those are 2 times that my order was triggered. You can see right around here as well. Here's my position. I had 45,000 Cardano, and half of that was sold. Around 24,000 Cardano was sold right around this high. And then I didn't get that full execution, and the price just got pushed down. If I was checking the market over the weekend, which I have no idea why I wasn't, I was just really taking a little break from trading, and I probably would have got out right around here. What I would have done is moved the rest of my order near these former tops. So I would probably played it way more conservative, because I know I wasn't online. So I probably would have done it right around here, right around the 7 or 0.076 level, give or take a little bit. So that's what I would have done. So I'll probably be moving this price down right around here again. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do that now. Why not, right? So what you have to do is come here, and then you say replace order. And then I'm going to replace the order exactly what I just said. That's, what did I say? Yeah. 0.0765. That is right around here. So let me go and click replace sell. Sweet. So you can see that we moved the sell order down just a little bit. Also, wait, let me think about this for a second. Sweet. So what I'm gonna have to do later on is calculate the difference between what what the original exit was. So I'll basically get the CPU, and let me show you guys how this is gonna be done. So we have 19,933.475 plus 5306.013, which is 25,239 Cardano, right? Was sold. Let me go to these CPUs. Let's do the ADA close just for reference sake. Whoops. So this one is this much Cardano, right? And we sold that much Cardano at, can I copy this? That would have been a little easier, but whatever. 0.079335. Right, that is when I exited this position. So that's the first one. So the second entry is probably going to be is definitely going to be the remaining amount, right? Let's go over here. Oh God, I'm all over the place. The remaining amount, actually, if we just go to Kraken, I'll show you guys my Kraken dashboard. This is the only amount of Kraken that I have, so it's nothing too crazy. Username is required. Sorry guys, the internet's connection is a little slow here. So this is my Kraken backend, and here you can see this is the remaining amount. So let me just go ahead and move this remaining amount in here, and what did we say it was? The ideal exit was 0.3079, 765, right? So if we got out for this amount, this would be the total. Let me actually add one more decimal here. Perfect. And if we go back to the swing trades, here is ADA, our exit point, our average exit point, it would be now this amount. So little sad, some of our profits are going to go away a little bit, but in the end, all fine. Obviously, we don't know that this is going to happen, but this is kind of how I would calculate the P&Ls, and just so you guys know how it works. Again, guys, there is a bunch of tutorial videos on how I use Trade Journal, but sometimes I like to show you guys live because it might make a little bit more sense like this. Remember, if you want to use Trade Journal, all you have to do is go here, trade.journal.co, and you can download the Google Sheet template and start using it on your own. There are also tutorial videos right here. You have the Google Sheet, the latest one right here. And like I said before, we are building out a real backend on this, so that's going to be pretty sweet. So yeah, so now the second average, let me go ahead and kind of put two negative or two exit points here. So we kind of remember how this one played out. Remember, our exit point was 0.0765. That's really hard to, okay, this is a little less, but generally it would probably be right here. So let's see if we reach it. I really think we will. I think we're definitely going to have a retest in this level. Okay, yeah, that was my computer being weird. We'll probably have a retest in this level, and I'll be pretty happy. That would put our average right around here, and I think this would be pretty sweet. I mean, look at that. Look at that beautiful bounce. I'm so happy about that. Check out these fees, my Coinbase trading fees in the last 30 days, $573. That is just so much money. Before the fee change, I think it was March 31st, if I remember correctly, there was zero fees for maker orders, and I love that. That was one of my biggest reasons I use Coinbase. My fees in average are a little bit less because I have bigger volume, right? We're in this percentage right here. So I only pay 0.1%. which is the same with Binance, which is one of the cheaper exchanges. So I still use it. But if we could get past the 1 million mark, we'll pay only 0.08%, and then maybe eventually 0.05%. But I don't know if we're going to be having $10 million in volume, weekly trade volume. But we're getting close to the 1 million in weekly trade volume, so that would bump us up to this level, which would be pretty sweet. But Yeah, right now, I don't know. We have to pay these 0.1% maker fees, but I try to avoid these fees at all costs. But because this is just, honestly, I think it's extremely abusive how much crypto exchanges charge. I mean, when I use TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, I only pay like $3.75 per trade. It used to be $10, but I got that lowered based on my activity. But think about how cheap that is, and I could enter with any position size. If I buy $100,000 of Apple, I'm still only paying $3.75. It's not percentage based. So I don't know how much longer this is going to go on for, but I feel like there's eventually going to be a riot among traders because this is just not sustainable, and it's very abusive. I see. David Shipley is in the group. David Shipley is one of our members. He is in the private Discord trading chat room, so you could always see him there. Very active. So welcome to the weekly trade review. I hope you're having a great Monday and you had a great weekend. I'm still waking up. It was quite a ridiculous weekend. My girlfriend's graduation, so there was a lot going on. All right, enough of these swing trades. Actually, let me see what our time limit is. Sorry, this video I just kind of accepted is going to be a bit longer. We're already at 36 minutes. You can always go ahead and play back this video, right, at any time and watch it on ×2 speed. Let me, 1 second, we're going to get right back to it. Okay, so here, 1, 2, 3, 4 more trades to review. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we're going to be reviewing the charts a little bit, and I'll give a quick little overview of how you can learn how to become a consistently profitable trader, specifically crypto trader. But remember, everything that I learned trading originally came from the equities markets, right? Stocks. So you can apply all these same things to the stock market. The focus on these videos, though, is specifically the crypto market because there's a lot of differences when it comes to, I would say, inefficiencies in the marketplace. So we talk a lot about those, and the time frame is way different, right? Crypto is a 24/7 market. Stocks is only 9:30 to 4, at least Eastern Standard Time. So the trading style is way different, and how I had to adapt to the crypto market took me a little bit of time because it's way slower. Everything is just kind of way pulled back because you're dealing with so many different time zones. With equities, right? At 9:30, when the markets open, it's just pure chaos for the next 30 minutes, and then generally the markets kind of slow down. So I day trade for only maybe 30 minutes a day, and it's a bit more relaxing. With crypto, that 24/7, it's basically 4x, and it's a different beast on its own. Okay, so this trade here, sorry, I just had to kind of remember which one this was. Oh god, there were so many trades this week. It was, again, a support line bounce and a clean 1% profit. Here, smaller position size, $8,700 position size, and fees, again, calculated as well. So, this should have been $87 profit, but it was only $70 profit because of the fees. So there you can kind of see how mean these fees are. And this is also the smaller position size. When I'm trading with $12,000, $13,000, I'm paying $24, $25 with fees. So, and that's paying the lower fee structure too. This isn't even the high fee structure. One second, I just realized that I got a warning message on the bitrate. It says the stream's current bitrate is 1,811 kbps, is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you stream with a bitrate of $45,000. I'm gonna quickly take a screenshot of that so I don't forget. I'm still getting used to live streaming myself, so a lot to learn. Okay, where were we? So again, this trade support line bounce. What I was looking for here was a clean breakout from this general downwards trend, and we had it for a second, but then all this chop happened. Luckily, I held a bit longer. I saw that we're having higher support bounces, right? So higher lows. It's a very bullish indicator. So I didn't have to get out. I probably would have got out if we dumped and then we came back to this level. I would have had to exit right around here. Again, kind of holding highs, and then we're making this little nice run up, and eventually I did get out right around here. I remember I was hoping that we would have another break here because I had my exit order right around here. We didn't get it, and I did not like the fact that, you know, we had such a big aggressive sell-off. So I got out right before this bounce up, which is kind of unfortunate, but then better than, you know, getting out on this thing. So I was pretty happy that I got out, you know, whatever, walked away with my profit. $100 profit, so, or 1% profit, so, you know, not bad. But in the end, it was kind of annoying, the fact that I would have been able to get out exactly where I wanted to, right? My ideal exit stop was right here at the 75 mark, and I did miss that, unfortunately. Oh well. Actually, it was a little bit more. It was like 75.20 or something, I remember, or 75.17 or 19. I talked about it in the in these reviews. No, it looks like I didn't mention it. These are all comments that I post. By the way, these are all the comments that I publish in the Discord live trading room. So you always know when I'm entering positions, when I'm exiting positions, what I think about my positions. I just constantly post little updates about everything. And all this is kind of like a snapshot of everything of this trade. So I just have everything documented here for you guys to review in the future. I think this again was a support line bounce. Yeah, almost all these trades this week were support line bounces. I wasn't being very fancy. I was just kind of taking profits and, you know, doing what I know best. Here we had a trend line, and I was looking for another retouch of this trend line. This was really a scalp, if anything, and I kind of got burnt a little bit on this one. Ultimately, it was a scratch. I didn't lose money. I'd rather make $17 than lose $17, so I just kind of closed out the position. I was looking for a bigger kind of reversal at this point because I didn't know how strong this trend line was. But yeah, this was a kind of dangerous trade. And you can see the next trade, again, was the same trend line. So here is a bit more zoomed in on the last trade. And then we had this kind of negative pull, this kind of negative pull. And then here the entry was just about perfect. And then I sold here again near the high. So this trade was beautiful. Still only $64 profit because it was just a smaller trade in general. And if you remember what happened over the weekend, I really should have just held this trade. But here, let me go ahead and show you next trade. What happened. So this is that exit I had, right? And right after I got out, boom, the price goes up like almost 2%. And then boom, this happened. And then the whole weekend rally was just so aggressive. But here again is a support line bounce. Why do I call this a support line bounce? Well, I also go ahead and mention that there was a bit of mean reversion here. Mean reversion pullback entry. What's a mean reversion pullback entry? Well, do I have the book here? There's a whole book on mean reversion and trading, and especially bots do this a lot of times. Simply all mean reversion is when the price kind of pulls back to the moving average, and that's kind of what you see here. You see that we have a big breakout, and a lot of times when you have a breakout like this, there is a lot of profit taking, and the price comes back to, I would say, roughly the halfway point, sometimes a little bit less, but this is always a gamble. Yeah, an entry like this is, you never really know. So I was waiting for a big pullback right here, and I had this limit order set ahead of time, and that's exactly what happened. We had a big pullback, and I entered right around after the pullback, right? I like to be conservative. I wait for a confirmation. I think I just had a said typo. I said I had a limit order set ahead of time. I don't think that was true on this trade. Yeah, I didn't say anything about having a support line or a limit order, but I did have this entry in mind right around here where we saw the initial resistance and then support again shooting up. So my entry was a little bit to the right of this. I waited for there to be a confirmation, right? We did not break down fully, or this is kind of when we saw support, and I entered right around here. We did have this second dip, and if I had more capital at the time, I definitely would have done a re-entry right here, but we didn't, and or I didn't, so I kind of held this through, and this was kind of a long hold. This was kind of painful. I entered here in the morning. I remember I was doing a little bit of packing here. This is when I was on the train, and I had the exit order set right here, and I got out. I'm pretty happy about this trade. I mean, Check it out, 1.89% profit, $151. Really clean, small position size. If this position size was more like $12,000, $13,000, it would have been, you know, $230 profit. So I just gotta work on increasing the position sizes. And you can see if I held it a bit longer, I would have had this. I said though in the beginning, I was not waiting for a breakout. Maybe we'll get another breakout again. If I want to do that, I'm going to let you guys know, but I'm not going to risk it. You know, I'm on the phone, bad connection. This is just not really my ideal trading environment. So I went ahead, took profits. It's the fact that we're going to break out of this level is way less, or the chances that we're going to break out from this level is way less than just if we're going to retest near this former shoulder. So I wanted to get out near the former shoulder. And then, yeah, we had this. This wasn't even a real breakout. This is what I call a fake out. You know, we have a short breakout, but then we get rejected, right? What a real breakout would look like is if we broke out like this, but then kind of came back here, had a retest, had a nice breakout bounce, and continued. That would be a real breakout in my eyes. The price continued to break out over here. So we did get support, and then the price almost hit $90. It was like 86 or 87 or 88. I kind of forgot. Let's check it out. Well, okay, here it is. It actually went over $90. It was like $94 now that I remember. You can see how slow my internet is. Yes, $96. So we had a huge breakout. This is when all that stuff happened, right in here. So it would have been pretty nice to hold, but you don't really know that. You know, you have no idea what's going to happen in the next 5-10 days, right? But when you're day trading and swing trading, you kind of have a general good idea where the past support and resistance levels are. So it's way easier and way more reliable doing these short-term trades, taking profits off the table, than, you know, hoping that maybe in 5 days from now we're going to have a huge run up. That is kind of why I have my swing trades, because if we are seeing big support, I like to enter these trades to maybe capitalize on some big moves to the upside. But you just never really know, and that's why if I'm day trading, I always call it out ahead of time. This is, you know, a day trade. This is not a swing trade, and these are my goals. I'm looking to take that 1%, that 1.5%, sometimes 2 to 3% if it's a much more of a bull market. But I am trying to get my profits very quickly, and I'm not trying to roll the dice on, you know, where the market's going. I know where the support is, I know where the resistance is, and I'm just trying to take my profits in that in that range. So I think we actually reviewed all the trades. There's one more trade I'm actually going to review just for a quick second. And this is the trade that I closed on over the weekend. And the reason I'm going to review this trade is because if you go here to the weekly chart that we talked about in the beginning of this video, you can see right here, $0.50 day trade, LTC day trade open. So I actually opened this trade on Saturday. I just didn't close this trade till Sunday. So it's not part of the weekly calculation, but it was a big profit. So let me quickly show you guys just a little bit about this trade. Here we had a big support line, and I had a limit order ready for that, and boom, I got it perfectly, almost a perfect entry. Very rare when this happens. This clean. The exit was sloppy. I remember I was going to bed, and I just, you know, I personally thought there was going to be a lot more room to the upside. I thought we are going to retest this 90 zone again easy, and maybe even retest this former high, which more or less kind of happened. But I didn't really want to play with fire. If I was feeling a little risky, I probably would have put a sell order right here at $93. Why 93? Because we had resistance 93. We broke out from 93, but in general, this was just a big resistance zone. And then you can see that's exactly what happened. We were not able to really make it past 93, but we did take those. We were able to hit it again. And yeah, just in general, I remember when I was on my phone, I looked at it and I was having a good time. I didn't want to worry about what the market's doing. I didn't want to take any risk. I mean, what happened if, you know, we got rejected here and we just came back down? I lost money. No way. I was not going to let that happen. This is a day trade. This is not a swing trade. And I was already up 5.5%. So what I did was I just placed the limit order exactly where the order book was. What I mean by the order book is if you just come down here for a second, wow, you can really see how slow my internet is right now. I'm surprised this live stream's even working. Let me go ahead and close Kraken. We don't need this anymore. Let me refresh this. All right, sorry guys, I really don't mean to be waiting here and boring everyone. Just skip these parts if you feel a little bored. Okay, right now we're on Bitcoin, obviously, but let's go ahead and go back to USD. Actually, right here, Litecoin. Let's go back to Litecoin. Load. Okay, so what I did was I was on my phone, but I'll show you how it looks like on the computer. Oh man, this is ridiculous. I'm so sorry, guys. Come on, so slow. And now we have no connection whatsoever. This is what happens when you trade in Europe. Okay, I think we have it. Let's give it 5 more seconds. Okay, well, it's here. It's here. So, okay, so here is the chart in general. The chart comes up here, and here is the order book. And this is what I saw on my phone. I didn't really take too much time to look at the depth chart or anything like that. I just noticed, here's some resistance, blah, 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 resistance. And all I did was I took my complete order here. How much was it? 109 Litecoin, I believe it was. Yeah, 109, and then I just basically had that, put it here as close as possible and just did max and place sell order. The reason I did that instead of just doing a market is because we pay lower fees. If I did that as a market, right, the fees would be much more. So check out this 109, you can see the fees are $19, but if I go on limit order and I do 109 again, at this price, you can see the fees are much less. So that's why I did that instead of a market order. Plus, I just wanted to get out of the position, so I placed it as close as possible. I didn't place a risk and think, like maybe we're gonna get back to this level. I just wanted to get out of the trade. I'm way over what I want, right? 5.53% is way more P&L that I could ever ask for a day trade. Typically, usually with a day trade, I'm looking for 1.5% profit, sometimes 2% profits. Usually around 3% profits, I'm closing out that position really, really quickly. So that kind of gives you guys a little idea how that trade played out. Let me go ahead and I think I'm just going to close this ultimately, save some CPU. Okay, let's wrap up this weekly trade review. The last thing I want to talk about, I hope you guys enjoyed all those trade reviews. There was a lot to go on. And remember, you can review each of them on your own time by just coming here to top trades, biggest lessons, and clicking on any one of these, right? All you have to do is just click on one of these, and then it will load and open up and in a new tab, hopefully. And you can review all of this stuff on your own time. So that's how it works, right? And also you can go here and see, this is a long, this is a Litecoin, this is a support line bounce. And if you click on support line bounce long, this tag, for example, then all my support line bounce longs and all the description about how I enter support line bounce longs will come up, and you can read all about it. You can check out all the trades that use this pattern, and that's how you can learn on your own time and how you utilize this site. So let's review some of the charts. I'm gonna probably do this very quickly just because we're already past 53 minutes. I don't like going on too long about this, but guys, one of the things I want to review first is talk about BTC USD shorts. So the shorts, we had a huge increase. There's general support down here for supports. This is where people start adding to their short positions, and right around here at this $30,000 mark, we had a lot of new resistance come in, and right around this former shoulder, we just completely cracked. And this is when people were covering their short positions. What does covering your short positions mean? It basically means all this people are betting against the BTC market. So they are selling to open their position. And that is, in theory, supposed to drive down the price, but it really hasn't. The price has been going up. But now, if you want to close your short position, what do you have to do? You have to buy Bitcoin to close your position. So what that did is actually drove up the price hugely over the weekend, and we almost hit $8,000 Bitcoin price. I think a lot because a little bit of FOMO, I would say, and a lot of short covering just driving up the price massively. And that is what you really see here in this dip. BTC in general, we had a lot of profit taking in this place. I'm definitely not going to be entering a position right now, but to be honest, I've been kind of saying that along this whole nonsense of a run up. But what I have been doing is every week I put in usually whatever it is, $300 into the crypto market for our long-term Crypto 52 Challenge Fund, which is every week on Tuesday, I put a certain amount of money into different currencies. So we are constantly averaging into a long-term fund. So I have been buying into all of this, but just in terms of day trading and swing trading, I always thought it was a bit overbought, and I was a bit biased on this whole session. Now I really think it's overbought. Look at this support line that we broke out of, massive bounce, big volume. So it's looking very bullish. But again, for day trading and swing trading, this is not exactly my favorite time to enter a trade. But yeah, that's a quick little overview. Again, Litecoin, let's check out Litecoin quickly. We obviously did a lot of chart reviewing ahead of time. So here is the $100 level that we almost touched. We hit like 99.76 or something. I forgot exactly what it was. And then we had this big falling wedge right here, which was a beautiful long-term entry. I missed a lot of these entries down here. This was 2 weeks ago when I was having a pretty bad week. But overall, yeah, great trading opportunities right around here. I had a lot of limit orders set for this line, but we didn't really reach it. If we did, this would have been a huge run up for some of my swing trades. But yeah, I think a really important lesson when it comes to trading is you don't have to be a perfect trader. My number 6 and number 7 trading commandments, the rules I live by when I trade, is you aim small, you miss small, right? That's number 6. Is if I'm not looking for a huge move like this. I'm looking for my, that 1.5% day trade. And I just do that consistently. And by doing a bunch of those trades and being profitable over 60% of the time, I'm able to consistently be profitable, right? I cut my losses quickly. I take my profits quickly. And if I am right just 0.5% of the time, or I'm able to consistently grow my fund. And that's exactly how the day trading works, right? You can see sometimes my exits are nice. I mean, sometimes my entries are perfect, but my exits are horrible, or sometimes reverse, or sometimes both are horrible, but I'm still able to consistently take profits out of the market. So you don't have to, be a seer and foreshadow, what's going to happen in the market. Being a trader is nothing about predicting which way the market's going. It's just taking calculated profit and loss, and buying in good support and selling near resistance. I mean, it's really that simple. So that's there's not too much for review right now, and we reviewed kind of a lot already. So I think I'm going to basically end it there. If there is anything you guys want me to review specifically, I will go ahead and do that in the Discord private trading chat room. I'll probably come out with a video tomorrow about this LTC trade and maybe review some of the swing trades over the weekend. There's just a bunch of stuff to review. So I think I'm going to end it there. We have no questions that came in as of recently, so that's good. Also, actually, if you guys want to learn more about becoming a consistently profitable trader, I combined it consistently and profitable. That was weird. Check out this site. I made everything very cheap because I just want a big environment of traders to enter the Discord private trading chat room, because we all talk about different chart patterns. We all remind each other about what's trading, what's hot in the market, and I love that group to grow. So I made it purposely all very cheap. All you have to do is come down here, click start, or just really click on anything. You get access to 5 weekly watch lists per week. You get real time, all my documented trades. You get access to my investor portfolio, which is growing every week. You get access to the Discord private trading chat room and the statistically backed chart pattern library, where I have all my chart patterns documented. And it's only $27 a month. This will actually go up to $47 a month pretty soon. I think in three months. But that's a different story. I'll make a video about that. And the reason that's going to be going up is because with the new backend we are building out right now, I'm going to be able to give you guys direct feedback on all of your trades. So it's going to be a bit more of a mentorship program as well. So it's going to be going up just a little bit. But if you buy $27 a month now, you'll be grandfathered in forever. So definitely take advantage of this if you find value. If you find value in the course and you want to learn more on your own time and you want to really just improve your trading foundation, definitely I think you might find some value in this. But yeah, There is one more thing I want to talk about as well. If you really want to increase your general trading foundation and you're maybe less interested in the day-to-day, but you want to learn about everything that I do, the reasons behind everything that I do, and everything that I've learned over the last 6 years, I compiled over 50 videos. Right now it says 49 plus videos, but it's 50 something. And I talk about all of my stuff, all of my trading, and you also get access to the private Discord trading chat room. And I'm constantly adding new videos to this course as well. So this course is $395, and you can get access to it for a lifetime. And this is really more for building a foundation of all of your trading experience. So you can really get you know everything that I'm going to be talking about in these weekly trade reviews. You already have an understanding of what I'm going to probably enter because you already know what I'm looking for. So this will really teach you the foundation of trading. And we did recently get a testimonial for one of our first graduates of this course. We had over 100 people join on launch day, but right now we're getting the first people to join or to complete the course. And Steve says, I was one of the first lucky 100 people to sign up for the trading course. I finished all the videos. It was great. I'm now getting ready to use and talking about some of the exchange work that he's doing. So Steve Custer, I hope I'm saying that right. Congratulations again on the course. And he is also, you can see down up here, he is one of the graduates in the course. So very cool. Yeah, I think that's everything. Remember, guys, if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I check all the comments quite often. Also, if you are a member already, the private trading chat, Discord trading chat room, oh man, that's a lot to say. Anyway, in the Discord chat, I'm always, you could email me or message me directly there, or just in any of the public chats. I check that out every day. I think last weekend was the longest. I didn't go and check it. So that was probably the longest I've been offline in like 2 years. Or just email me at any time at alex@enzo.com, and I usually respond to you within 24 hours. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this weekly trade review. I think this was probably one of the longest weekly trade reviews, but there was just so much to cover, and I hope you guys enjoyed all of that. Yeah, so all the best, guys. Good luck trading, everyone, and I will see you next week and in the Discord trading chat room. So till the next video, ciao, ciao.